Enzorecto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Let's get insights from a former Senate President joining us tonight, ex-SP, KOKO PIMENTEL. Welcome to the big story, Senator.
Thank you, Ses. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Senator, alam nyo na, nadaanan nyo na itong mga changes in leadership, and those who are watching refer to this as the season finale na daw ng Senate Flicks. Sa tingin ninyo, ito na nga ba finale na at they will buckle down to work, or it's still a shaky hold on the Senate presidency by Win Gatchalian?
It's actually 13-11, di ba? So there's still a big minority, but we should welcome the existence of a minority, and the bigger the minority, the better. But I saw their attitude earlier today. So Senators Pia, Loren, Bongo attended because they all want to work. Ganyan naman po ang karamihan ng mga senador. They really want to work kasi may mga they each have personal advocacies.
Gaano pong kahirap maging Senate President when it was held by Senator Soto? There were complaints, hindi daw siya paalaga. Paano po bang pasayahin ang mga nasa kampo ninyo based on your experience?
Mahirap maging Senate President, but I think mahirap maging leader in any organization because there are different personalities, and of course there are also sensitivities and egos to deal with, di ba? So, and because of the very weak political party system in the Philippines, you have to deal with the individual person. So you should be very careful because of sensitivities. So mahirap. But that's part of our culture in the Philippines.
And the SC petition of the Cayetano bloc, is it rendered moot by what happened today?
I have not read the petition at all, but for the issues, kunyari, the petition raises the issue of who is the Senate President. That particular issue, I think, has been rendered moot. But if the petition raises other issues, then posibleng buhay pa yun.
How about yung numbers kasi? The Constitution says all, so there is a presumption na you have to count 24. But there is a possibility na malalagasan pa ang mga senators because of pending cases. How
Correct.
do you see this? Ano sa tingin nyo, kailangan bang i-adjust ang bilang, for instance, what will constitute the vote in the impeachment trial? How do you
I always respect the opinions, the legal reasoning of former Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio. And he's the one developing this interpretation or legal theory. So I'm listening because I started with the belief that when the Constitution says all the members of the Senate, we count all those being called in the roll call. Diba? So as of the moment, I think if they do a roll call, there will be 24 names in the roll call.
That was your previous belief, but you've...
Yes, but I'm trying to, I'm listening and keeping an open mind to the approach, this new theory. I think the first time I heard this was from Justice Carpio, and I think Congresswoman Luistro has also parang is adopting such an interpretation. And let us see, because the reasoning, if you go back to the reasoning in one of the arguments, the well-reasoned arguments in the 1949 Avellino versus Cuenco case, they talk about you only count those who are subject to the coercive power of the Senate.
Right.
Because this is linked with the power of a smaller group of senators to order the quotation marks natin arrest of the absentee senators. Yun yun eh,
Right.
medyo konektado yung powers na yun eh. So if you cannot do that because the person is a senator is abroad, then do not count him. So
Or in jail.
it makes sense. So but then it doesn't really only apply to being abroad. What if you are under detention, legal detention by court order? That you are also beyond the coercive power of the Senate. So let us keep an open mind. But as I've stated earlier, I'm still sticking to my original position that all the members of the Senate, we have to count the names being called in the roll call.
So you mean 24?
As of the, you notice it, kunyari sa next session nila, you count. Ilan yun? Kung 24 yun, then all the members must be 24.
But Senator Jinggoy Estrada has already been suspended by the Sandigan Bayan.
But is he still a senator?
Yes.
Yes. So he will be in the roll call.
Okay.
But he will be marked absent. He will be marked absent. So his suspension will not excuse his absence. He will be marked absent.
This is something that may be brought again before the Supreme Court, actually.
After now, when there is already a justiciable controversy,
And
we cannot just go to the Supreme Court and consult for opinion. So kailangan there should really be now a clash in the ground or on the ground of facts, no? And then dyan yung facts, and then there are two competing positions, legal positions.
Now, you were a senator judge during the Corona impeachment trial. Tell us about your experience there.
Well, it was a long trial, and then in my opinion, we pursued so many topics when we should have just focused on one particular ground because in an impeachment, if there are, let's say, 5 grounds and the impeached official is already found guilty with sufficient number in one ground, let's say the first ground, there's no need to pursue all the other grounds. So my suggestion is they should I think in the impeachment of VP Sara Duterte, there are 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 grounds. So mag-focus na lang sila what are the 2 strongest grounds, and then so that we will know if you cannot get a conviction in the strongest ground, then that's it.
All right. But the question that's uppermost now is who should preside. The Constitution is not specific when it comes to the VP. And now the majority bloc is inclined to appoint or choose Senator Chis Escudero because he is a lawyer. What is your belief?
No problem.
Do you need a lawyer, really, to preside?
You do not need a lawyer, but you respect the choice of the majority. If the default scenario should be, common sense tells us that the presiding officer during the start should be the Senate President. And then with some formalities, with a motion, then the Senate President can graciously give the chair to the choice of the majority. And I believe he will be siding with the majority. It will not be against his will. It will be pursuant also to his own wishes.
Well, because of his position in the previous year, when they were arguing over what the meaning of forthwith was, it may come under some controversy. The choice of Chis Escudero, I mean.
Yes. Kami yun nag-argue sa forthwith eh.
Di ba? Oo nga pala. Yes.
So,
Oo nga.
So actually, you could even say that
So shall-
cheese is objective because his past actions can be interpreted that he was favoring the impeached official. Oh, but now we can say that there is a substantial number which we cannot accuse to be favoring the impeached official. So these are also objective minds. So I think
He's a good choice.
That's also a positive towards the choice of Senator Chis Escudero as the presiding officer. But it is not necessary. It's not necessary that it be a lawyer, the presiding officer be a lawyer. I am confident SP Sherwin Gatchalian can do it and he can preside well over the impeachment proceedings because you can
Yes, why not him? He's respected by both sides. Why not him? Why not him?
It could be him, but if he wants to relinquish the chair to a lawyer, and the majority will back up the decision, and that is also the decision of majorities, it will be implemented. It will be respected and implemented, and nothing unusual with that, or nothing extraordinary or questionable with that.
So, ngayon, hindi kayo nag-succeed noon nung nasa Senado pa kayo. What do you think now? Do you see the impeachment trial happening?
Yes, di ba July 6, I think.
Well, there
And I think there is some preliminary
tomorrow
activity.
is a pre-trial conference.
Pre-trial, they call it the pre-trial. So looks like it will now push through.
Now, let's go back to Alan Peter Cayetano. Do you see him continuing his boycott? He didn't show up today.
Sana hindi. You know why? Because I believe he is still, the minority has chosen him to be the minority leader. So the minority leader must always also be present. Okay? So he must be present all the time so that, because he is the default voice of the minority. So when the minority leader raises his or her hand, the presiding officer must give priority to listen to the side of the minority. So I hope that he will attend 100% of the sessions.
All right. Now, going back to what you said, there must be a justiciable event that controversy that would trigger the SC to decide on the matter of the numbers. Will this be triggered by when the impeachment trial will or the senator judges will vote on whether to convict or not the VP? Would this constitute
I think that
a justiciable controversy?
I think those are the facts, no? Those are that is the scenario which could possibly give us the factual situation which will give us a justiciable issue or controversy. And it will be in the controversy will be in the count, whether the count is sufficient to convict. Okay? Kung acquittal kasi, wala na yun. I mean, kunyari, malaki yung number ng not guilty, tapos na yun. But
hindi na
let us say, I think yun. That's the combination of facts which I believe could give rise to this justiciable controversy.
However, and finally, Senator, there are those of the view that a conviction is not really necessary, but really more for the public to know the extent of the evidence that the prosecution has, is really the aim of the panel.
If that's their aim, that's their call. But the purpose here is to really have a trial. Sabi ng Constitution says.
Hindi kasi wala po yung boto eh. Looking at the complexion of the Senate, wala yung boto. They don't have the numbers.
No, but we have to reach that the point where we will now call on the senators to publicly state their judgment, their position, whether guilty or not guilty, convicted or acquitted. So that's the responsibility naman of the senator judge. So hintayin natin yun. So I mean, let's not accuse the prosecution that they only want to show the evidence to the public. Of course, they are prosecuting because they want a conviction. But then, if their effort, if the trial, their effort should result in an acquittal, then accept it because that's part of the constitutional process. There are two constitutional outcomes in an impeachment. Number one is guilty or convicted, or not guilty or acquitted. Dalawa. And the Constitution allows this. So tanggapin po natin yun. If it's a conviction, tanggapin ng taong bayan. If it's an acquittal, tanggapin din ng taong bayan.
Senator, nami-miss nyo ba ang Senado pag pinapanood nyo yung mga pangyayari? Yung Senate flicks na tinatawag.
Actually, ngayon hindi.
Because
busy tayo sa pamilya.
Any chance that you will return to the Senate? Are you going to are you going to try again?
Well, I'm qualified in 2028, so we will keep our minds open for that Ses.
We thank you for sharing your insights with us, former Senate President KOKO Pimentel.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw.